I've been in trouble in my day. But man, let me tell you something. This guy Puffy, an enormous amount of trouble. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. They got this guy in a RICO case by himself. A lot of my friends ask me, they say, Dave, did you know anything about those freak off parties? And I'd be like, I didn't know anything about the freak off. And they'd be like, well, how all these people you know was at the freak off, but she's the only one that wasn't at the freak off? I thought about it for a minute. I said, oh my gosh, I'm ugly. That was a tough way to find that out. Can you imagine if you were me reading the newspaper and found out everyone in Hollywood had an orgy behind your back? None of y'all called me?
Your Morning Blitz begins now.
Gotta scream!
6:05 on the Morning Blitz. Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick. Man, I went to bed. Everything was fine. I wake up this morning and plane crash in the Potomac, and man.
Let me just give you the fast facts if you're just trying to catch up here, if you're waking up. But an American Eagle jet with 64 people aboard and a U.S. Army Black Hawk with 3 aboard crashed last night about 9 p.m. as the plane was approaching the runway. Search and rescue underway now in the Potomac River, but the scene is grim. There has been zero evidence that there is a single survivor out there, but nothing official has been said. We have heard from different Kansas officials because the plane took off from Wichita, Kansas. We have heard from U.S. figure skating because there are U.S. figure skaters aboard. We have heard from the American Airlines CEO, but like I said, nothing official. Here's what happened. The plane broke into pieces upon contact with the Black Hawk and then the Potomac River. So this plane pieces are in maybe 5 to 8 feet of water. The Black Hawk is intact, but it's upside down. They have recovered at least 19 bodies so far, some of which have washed ashore on the Virginia side. Absolutely no word of survivors. It's a really awful situation, but we were talking about U.S. figure skating making a statement. They say a group of young athletes, coaches, and family members were returning from the National Development Camp being held in Wichita. And then Russia state media has come out saying former figure skating world champions Yevgenia Shishkova and Vadim Naumov were on the flight as well. So, it is just such a difficult thing to wrap your head around because this just hasn't happened. I think it's been 16 years since our last accident in the U.S. Of a commercial flight. So it's just so unusual. And everybody out there is basically saying this is... they just can't wrap their heads around the fact that this happened.
Just terrible accident. Terrible.
Yeah. Officials are saying it's perplexing. Let's put it that way. It's very perplexing that this happened. It was a clear night. Yeah. Somebody should have been able to see from the Black Hawk and avoid. But they didn't. So we'll find out. I don't know. Yeah. We'll find out. Everything is, fluid, as they say.
It's just unfolding. So.
Yep.
Like, I mean, it was just 9 o'clock last night?
9 last night.
Jeez.
And the conditions for search and rescue are just absolutely horrible. It's below freezing.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
the water's frigid.
It's like,
And they have recovered. Apparently, they were able to get into the cabin and get some of the luggage out, and they found one of the black boxes. Yeah. So, anyway, we'll keep you updated.
Yeah. All right. So the Fire Aid concert is tonight, speaking of tragedies. You know, what it's benefiting, obviously. But, it didn't even hit me. You know, this show's out in California, in L.A., and it's not going to start till 10 o'clock our time. I didn't even think about that when this was put together, you know. Because 7 o'clock out there, it's 10 o'clock here. That's when it's going to start.
I don't care if they were holding it at noon. I'm not.
I'm interested. It's obvious. It's 5 hours, so all of these bands aren't going to do full shows. You know, it's probably going to be
a song or two here and there.
Yeah, and stuff there to be talking in between. I'm interested. But
now I know the ticket.
I'm not going to see it live.
The ticket prices are the money's going to help the fire victims.
Yeah.
Can you purchase a ticket to see it I guess what I'm asking is it a paid event for people who aren't in LA? For people who aren't going to the show? Like, for you and I, if we wanted to see it, do we pay to see it so that our money goes for that? Or they be taking donations online or something? I don't know.
Yeah, no, yeah, we can all stream it.
For free.
For free, yes. But you know, throughout the concert, they're going to be asking for donations, which you can do at fireaidla.org. You know, and the tickets to get in were $99, and all that money's going, and you know, anything they raise from this, whether it's online donations, ticket sales, whatever, is all going to the fire relief.
Now, here's what I'll say, and I don't like these for whatever reason. These big aid sort of
like
concerts.
Farm Aid and stuff like that.
But I will say that you remember Live Aid 1985.
Oh, yeah.
Produced an iconic Queen performance.
Yep.
It came from one of these aid concerts.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why you never know what you're going to see.
You're right. It's something that I should be wanting to see.
Yeah.
I'll see the highlights tomorrow. How about that?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to be able to stay up and watch it tonight, so I'm sure there'll be replays available. They're streaming it everywhere. You're going to be able to see it if you want. So, there's that. And then here, locally, Barstool OSU, Kelly, is hosting a Ryan Day lookalike contest.
Oh, that's funny.
So get your red suits and your cheek blush ready. According to a social media post from Barstool, Ohio State, the outlet hosting the online lookalike contest for the head coach. Submissions will be held virtually and should be submitted to Barstool directly. Contestants need to do their best to emulate the OSU coach. Photo. Submissions will be accepted through tomorrow, and voting takes place February 1st through the 3rd.
Okay, listen,
so
am I nuts? Am I nuts? But you should enter, Thick Rick. You should enter.
For real?
Yes.
Really? He's got a lot thicker hair on his head than I've got. Maybe I just put on a Buckeye. I just put on a Buckeye hat.
Put on a Buckeye cap. Yeah. He's always wearing a Buckeye hat.
Yeah.
You just wear what you're wearing now. You've got an OSU bass fishing hat on. Let me take a picture of you and submit it. You look like Ryan Day.
Oh, my gosh.
You do. I'm not kidding. He has a little bit of a thicker beard going on. Yours is a little more trimmed up.
Yeah.
But not by much.
Maybe I should try to trim it a little bit before I take the picture.
No, I mean, yours is trimmed up enough. His is a little thicker.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So let it grow out a few days.
What you win, if you win, I have no idea, but that's not stopping anybody. I don't know what I have no idea what the winner gets of the contest. I feel like I should get season tickets for next year, right?
Can I put a little Just for Men on your beard? Not because you have grays. You don't, but we'll thicken it up a little bit. I'm going to put a little Just for Men on there, and I'm taking some pictures. I'm not kidding. I think you could win this.
Okay.
I've never noticed before right now, but I'm looking at a picture of Ryan Day, and then I'm looking at you. You do resemble him. Oh, you took off your glasses. It's uncanny.
Oh, come on.
I want you to win this. What's the prize? We don't know?
I don't know. It's what it says. It says, what do you win? We have no idea, but that's not stopping anyone from participating. This Jack McLaughlin wrote this in 614 magazine.
I know what it is. Barstool makes you give up your rights to everything about yourself for years. That's what Barstool likes to do. They make you sign these wild releases.
All right, incarceration tickets in the 7 o'clock hour. Hopefully you got the Ink Song of the Day from Ronnie yesterday afternoon at 4:20. That's when she does that every day this week. Lonely Ones tickets. By the way, Marty and the gang will be in tomorrow morning about 8:30. They got a show Saturday night at the Newport, so they're going to stop by and play a little game to give away some tickets tomorrow morning. Fishing show tickets, and right now it is Morning Blitz trivia. $25 up for grabs to waterbeds and stuff if you're the first one to text in the correct answer at 99700. What celebrity was invited to host Saturday Night Live but was not allowed because her parole officer said no? What celebrity was invited to host SNL but had to turn it down because her parole officer would not let her? Tell us first at 99700 and get the gift card. Creed and My Own Prison on the Morning Blitz, 625. Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick. Our Morning Blitz trivia question: what celebrity was invited to host Saturday Night Live, but she had to turn it down because her parole officer would not allow her to do it? Kelly, do you have a guess?
No, I saw some of the answers coming in, and I thought, oh, was it Amanda Bynes?
No. It's the other one that we got a lot of.
Oh,
a lot of people knew it.
I see.
Martha
Stewart.
Can you imagine? You're Martha Stewart. What was she? What'd she get in trouble for? Was it insider trading or something? I can't remember.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Trading.
Yeah,
yes.
That's what I thought it was. She did like a couple of months or something.
I think
or
she
6
might have
months.
done a year. Or
did
something.
she do a whole year?
I don't know.
A year at the country club.
5 months.
Oh, 5 months.
Yeah, you were
Okay.
closer.
All right. So she was on The Tonight Show and was asked if she would ever want to.
Would you ever want to host Saturday Night Live one day?
I wanted to, and they asked me as I was coming out of Alderson, that camp that I was in for a while, and my parole officer wouldn't give me the time to do it. You know, it takes
The camp, yeah.
I was allowed to be out of my house 8 hours a
The
day.
parole officer said no?
No, that
He said, well, you're not allowed to
his
leave.
name and his number.
Yeah. But they wouldn't let you do so. But Lauren called you and said, would you like to host?
Yeah, I'm so. Oh my God! Maybe someday.
That's just hilarious to
They
me.
really do need to get her on. Why not?
Yeah. They just should have her and Snoop together.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I love she still remembers all the officers' details, right down to the badge number.
If I'm going to jail, I want to serve my time with Martha Stewart. Do you know she probably had... Okay, I'm not saying jail's great at all. Jail sucks. I know it does, and I'm sure that it was difficult, but also she's Martha Stewart. I bet she makes everything work.
Oh,
She just
yeah.
makes it work.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're in her presence at all,
Yeah.
I feel like your day's going to be better.
Oh, I feel like she's in there like the Sopranos were in there cooking all this great food and.
Oh, you think she was cooking?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she had people bringing her all kinds of stuff to make. I have no doubt.
I don't think you're getting in any trouble as Martha Stewart.
No.
I don't think anybody's coming up against you.
No.
Like, who wouldn't like to serve time with her?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do time,
Do you think she's still buddies with anybody she served her time with? I bet she is.
I don't know.
I feel like that's Martha Stewart. Like, she's still in contact with some people that she made friends with.
and she called it a camp, kind of jokingly, but I'm sure it was not. It's not like it was some maximum security prison where she was in there with hard criminals.
It is a prison camp. That's what it's
Yeah,
called.
sure.
So I guess you could just shorten it to camp.
All right. Well, Ben Kidwell from Radnor, Ohio, was the first one to text in the correct answer. So Ben's got $25 to go over and spend at Waterbeds and Stuff.
It's the Morning Blitz.
And now it's time for I've Got Something.
Let's see if these dummies have anything worthwhile for us.
All right, I've got something. I'm going to go ahead and do mine before Kelly upsets me with her news story.
Okay.
Hopefully I'm getting worked up for nothing, but I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right. I don't know what it is, but like every day this week, there's been a crazy story from some school.
Yes.
And this one comes from Heartland Lakeside School District in it's Waukesha, right? Wisconsin, Waukesha. 72-year-old school bus driver transporting students home is under arrest on suspicion of driving while under the influence. Hopefully this guy's not going to hit a .4 like the gym teacher we had.
The gym teacher was from Waukesha, too.
Oh, was he really?
They are drinking hard in
What is
Waukesha.
Jeez. Police did not release the identity of the guy yet. He was booked into the Waukesha County Jail. A 911 dispatcher radioed police officers that the driver didn't stop at the last 8 stops, and students were screaming in the background. And according to one student, the driver yelled, "I'm God of this bus. I have control over when this bus comes and goes." I've got some audio here. You'll hear some kids freaking out. Part of the 911 call, and then a couple students talking about it.
What is going on? West River one apparently didn't stop at the last 8 stops, and the students screaming in the background.
We were screaming, "Stop the bus, stop the bus, stop the bus." I was scared because he didn't stop at any of the first few stops, and I was scared that the other kids weren't going to get to go home. We were just like getting mad over little stuff.
So the student went on to say the bus finally came to a stop, and they were able to get out when a parent blocked the road with their car. So one kid must have called their parent from their cell phone. So it was going, and the parent, found them and got in front of them and stopped it.
What a hero!
My gosh,
how about that?
That is crazy,
That's freaky.
Man. All right, Kelly,
Okay.
what's going on?
All right, listen, an Ohio lawmaker has introduced a bill to make changes to the law approved by voters that legalizes recreational marijuana. Okay, now this legalization issue was not an amendment. It's a statute. So state lawmakers can vote on changes anytime they want. They can tweak this bill or this law at any time. So indeed, Ohio Senate Bill 56, introduced by State Senator Steve Huffman of Tip City. Man, they produce real bummers of humans in Tip City. I'm just kidding. If you're from Tip City, I love you. This bill would raise the tax, it would cut the potency, and add other new requirements. So here we go. This bill, Ohio Senate Bill 56, would increase the excise tax on cannabis products from 10 to 15% and send all that money to the Ohio General Fund. The bill would reduce homegrown plant limits from 12 to 6. Now, you did too, and you have enough for like 15 years. So I think that's a huge deal for you.
And that's per person. The current one. So, so they're saying for 2 people, you could have only
12 to 6.
So it'd be 3 per person.
3 per person. Would require marijuana products to be stored in the trunk when it's being transported. So you would not be able to have your vape beside you in the passenger seat.
Okay.
It all needs to be in the trunk. It would cut the THC product cap from 90 to 70%. So it would decrease the potency. It only allows smoking and vaping in private residences, which really already aligns with current laws on smoking, cigarettes, and weed. It caps the number of active dispensaries to 350, so there would never be allowed to be any more than 350. And all would be required to sell both adult use and medical. So it wouldn't just be...
Okay.
Which, that's fine.
Yeah, that's no big deal.
And they also don't want the Division of Cannabis Control to be setting rules for delivery and online ordering, so they want to block them out of putting rules on that, so that's not necessarily a bad thing.
They want to block...
You remember how long it took them to come up with the rules for dispensaries? That's why you could not get any recreational use marijuana for a solid... How long after you approved it? 9 months? At least.
Yeah.
So they don't want the Division of Cannabis Control to be setting any rules with delivery and online ordering. I guess that'll be just, I don't know, taken care of by the legislature. Who knows? But anyway.
Okay, so you'll still be able to get delivery.
Yes.
Okay.
They want to do delivery. They want to do online ordering, but just subject to the rules of the business with delivery and ordering.
Okay, but going back to a couple of the other things here. Was that it? Was there more?
That's it.
All right.
Cut the potency, raise the tax. So
your
tax,
okay. So you want to make it not as good, but charge more.
Charge you more.
Oh, gee, sounds like every other corporation in America.
Yeah,
how about that?
That's it.
All right, and cutting it to 6 plant from 6 to 3. What? Why? I would like to know why. Do you give any reasons for these things? No reasons.
I mean, I'm sure this will all come out. His name's State Senator Steve Huffman. I'm sure it'll all come out, in committee when they start talking through everything and all that.
Hey, Steve, what? You don't want to win any more elections, evidently, Steve.
Well, maybe Tip City does not like weed, and so he's really confident that his voters will reelect him.
Then make your rules for Tip City and not for Ohio. Stay out of my business.
Yeah.
It's not your concern. There's this is nothing for you to be, trying to govern me on.
Keep your little dirty paws out of Thick's weed.
Damn right. And everybody else's.
Yeah.
It's good. We voted. This is what we wanted. So, sit down and mind your own damn business. Nobody asked you to do this. Nobody's trying to get you to make these rule changes. I believe that. I mean, I don't, maybe his mom came and asked him to. I don't know.
I don't know.
Steve Huffman.
Steve Huffman.
Steve
Tip
Huffman.
City.
Remember that name, everybody. This is the guy trying to take away your right to get high.
No, not to get too high. You're not allowed to get too high.
You're a douche.
I need the rest of that song. That's pretty good.
You're a douche. You're a big fizzy douche.
There you got it all.
There we go.
douche.
Ah, man. Why? I just don't understand, man. It's just people they just want to...
People smoking weed.
Yes, it just... Why's he got to mess with it? Everything's fine. Leave it alone.
I don't know. Everybody, in the legislature, they feel like they've got to do something. I've got to introduce some bill.
Why?
I have to be responsible for something because
they got to look like they're doing something.
It's like a more annoying version of an HOA.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
No, this is typical politicians. They can't solve any real problems, so they have to try to make it look like they're doing something.
Yeah. I guess.
All right. Whatever. Steve Huffman. Everybody remember the name. Jeez.
Just make sure you contact your own representative to vote on your behalf when this thing comes up for a vote.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
You leave Steve Huffman alone.
I'm not leaving him alone. I'm going to say his name every day. Highly suspect on the Morning Blitz. 6:50. Kelly Quinn. Thick Rick. This was funny. Bill Belichick wants the name of the Super Bowl trophy changed from the Lombardi trophy to the Tom Brady trophy.
Oh.
He said Tom Brady's done way more than Vince Lombardi ever did. I mean, Lombardi was coach of the Green Bay Packers when they won the first 2 Super Bowls. That's why they called it the Lombardi trophy.
Okay.
But Belichick said, Tom Brady's got 7 Super Bowl rings, 5-time Super Bowl MVP. It should be renamed to the Tom Brady trophy.
Okay.
All right, Bill. I mean, that's a bit much. The original coach of the first 2 Super Bowl winners.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. And it's not like he didn't win championships before they started calling it the Super Bowl. But
you can't be that good looking and have trophies named after you. You get one or the other.
Is Tom Brady that good looking?
Yeah.
Oh, is he? Okay. All right. And on the NFL subject in the Super Bowl, it's, now the 3rd season in a row the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, and so many people are calling it a conspiracy, saying that the NFL just wants Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl and all this crap. And so Dean Blandino, he was the vice president of officiating for the NFL, and now he's an analyst on Fox. And he said even his own brother believes it's rigged. He said, my brother said they just want Taylor at the Super Bowl. The league is rigged and you can't say anything about it, is what his brother told him. And he said, over 100 million people are going to watch the Super Bowl whether Taylor Swift is there or not. Like, enough, stop. And he also said, I think if there was a script, the head of officiating would be pretty important in the process, and no one ever invited me in the room. So, on top of that, I mean, think about it. We're talking about getting a team to the Super Bowl. This isn't about rigging one game.
Yeah, it's about rigging all of them.
It's about rigging an entire season.
Yeah.
Now, how many people would have to be involved in that to make
keep their mouths shut?
And that's exactly right. The number of people that would have to stay, and people cannot keep their mouths shut. Mm-hmm. There's no way in hell. The NFL is an ATM. An endless running ATM for the owners. They make so much money off of that league. I mean, they just basically are printing money over there. There's no way that it's that important to have Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl that you're going to risk this multi-billion-dollar empire. That's stupid. Makes no sense whatsoever. And if it was really about ratings, you'd be trying to get the bigger markets in there, not Kansas City. You'd want New York, L.A., Philly, Dallas, the bigger city, Detroit. These are the top 10 biggest cities in the country, not Kansas City. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just thought it was absurd. And
old Ben Franklin says 3 people can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead.
That's right.
There's no way you could keep this big of a conspiracy secret.
And I mean, to think that it's because of Taylor that is crazy, man. I don't know. But every year over 100 million people watch. No matter who's playing in that game, there's always over 100 million people watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's 110, sometimes it's 115, it could be 112. I think it dropped down to 108 one year. Yeah, it's not going to make any difference. The TV contracts are done. They're going to take in the same amount of money no matter what the rating is. So it's just silly to think that they would try to fix something and, again, risk that multi-billion-dollar industry over something like that. So, but I'm not in on the Tom Brady trophy. I mean, come on, Bill, seriously.
And now, the 3 things you need to know before you go.
An American Airlines regional jet went down in the Potomac River near Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport after colliding with the U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter last night, prompting a multi-agency search and rescue operation. The FAA says preliminary information indicates the regional jet collided in midair with the helicopter while on approach to the airport at about 9 o'clock last night. The jet carrying 60 passengers and 4 crew members. The Black Hawk was carrying 3 members of the military. A search is underway for survivors, but it really looks grim. It does not look like there are any survivors. Conditions are freezing in this search and rescue operation. 19 bodies have been recovered so far. 300 first responders are on the water, as well as boats and divers from around the region. Reports are that human remains and debris are washing up on the Virginia side of the Potomac River. The plane departed from Wichita, Kansas, and aboard were a group of young figure skaters, their coaches and family members, returning from a development camp and competition in Wichita. Russian state media has announced that among those on board were Russian former figure skating world champions Yevgenia Shishkova and Vadim Naumov. This is the first commercial air crash in the U.S. in 16 years. Now, I do have some air traffic control audio. There is a site called Live ATC with aviation communications for more than 1,200 airports. Anybody can get on it. You can get on it right now and hear this, what I'll be playing for you. I'll tell you what you're about to hear because it's a little tough to understand. You hear air traffic control. There's no audio in return from the Black Hawk. They may have been on a different frequency. That's why. But air traffic control asks, quote, Pat 25, do you have the CRJ in sight? And then you hear no response. And then they say, Pat 25, pass behind the CRJ. And then there's something inaudible. And then there's word of the crash.
Pat 25, CRJ in sight. Pat 25, pass behind the CRJ. I don't know if you caught earlier what happened, but there was a collision on the approach in the 33.
So then there was word of the collision. Now, again, you can hear that on Live ATC, that website there. It has aviation communications. Experts are saying it is confusing why the Black Hawk didn't employ the usual see and avoid method of getting out of the way. I'm sure this is one of the first things they'll be investigating is why there was no line of sight, apparently, between the Black Hawk and the very obvious jet on in a clear skies. So anyway, it's a huge tragedy for the U.S. We haven't seen anything like this in 16 years, so we're not used to seeing jet crashes here anymore, which I guess is a good thing, but this does make this an enormous tragedy. And those are your 3 things.
POD on the Morning Blitz, 7:05, Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick. Man, I am getting texts from some people who do believe that the NFL is rigged.
Okay.
And my only thing is, if you honestly believe it's rigged, why would you ever watch another game? If I thought that those games were rigged, that they were cheating to get whatever team, I would never watch again.
Well, let me introduce you to the WWE.
That's what it would be, and I'm not interested.
Well, a lot of people are. That's the biggest selling ticket.
I know, but you know it in that case. I mean, it's because to me, the WWE, and I was a fan, going back to WWF and WA, it was like the greatest guys soap opera on television. These fights between people. And
so once this all gets exposed for being what it is, then we'll just turn it into another soap opera for all the boys.
I'm good. I can't put my heart and passion and money into this sport. If it's rigged, that's crazy. But one thing that I just found, and I was trying to see somebody texted me about this. Mike. Mike Skill, he said, did you hear the Philly mayor spelling Eagles? And I did not, and I just found it.
Let me hear you all say
E-L-G-S-E-S, Eagles. That's I can't even say what she spelled.
That feels very bad.
That's the mayor of Philadelphia.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
I love it.
Was she looking at a sign she couldn't decipher just to make sure she was saying it right?
No, she's standing at a podium looking at a crowd.
E-L-G-L-S-E-S.
That just made my day. Oh, great. All right, this might make yours if you love the movie theater, but you hate when the movie actually starts. Of course, this doesn't help us here yet, but maybe everybody else will follow suit. You know, movie theater advertises movie start time 7 o'clock. So you're in your seat, 7 o'clock, popcorn drink at 7, and then you get assaulted with ads for everything from cars to M&Ms, Prime TV shows, and followed by, the notice to make your phone silent. Visually locate all the exits, and then, you got to watch some previews, and then it's like 7:20, 7:30 before the movie actually starts, right? Your popcorn's half gone, or it's cold.
Yeah.
Your drink's all watered down at this point. Now I'm just looking for things to bitch about. But in Connecticut, state senator named Martin Looney calls this an abuse of people's time. And he has introduced a bill that would make theaters list the actual start time of the movie that you are paying to see. And, a lot of people are like, yeah, we like that idea.
I'm 100% in favor of this. It is the most annoying thing in the world to plan your time out. And so I guess it's partially on me. But if you say my movie's starting at 6:30 and it's, say, 90 minutes long, then I kind of calculate out about when I'm going to be out of the theater. And I'm always off by at least 45 minutes. And that really, I hate it. It is a waste of my time.
Yeah.
It is an abuse of my time and my psychological wellness. I hate it.
But if we know it's going to start late, why do we just keep doing it? Why do we keep going on time?
I guess because you don't quite know what you're talking about in terms of commercials and previews.
Right.
And some people like to catch the previews but want to miss the commercials. And you've got a ton of those, whatever, Pepsi commercials that run or whatever. I would like an actual start time. Sometimes I like to watch the previews. That's a part of the enjoyment for me, but I don't need 15 previews. Give me 3. Pick your 3 best.
Okay.
And I'll sit there for 2 minutes apiece. That's 6 minutes of previews, and then start my dang movie. You're already charging me an arm and a leg to sit there.
Well, okay, so here's part of that problem. Because a theater owner in Stamford up there pointed out that these are tough times for movie houses, and they rely on those ads for revenue. And, you talk about what they're charging us. Keep in mind, I always got to remind people of this, if you're paying $10 to $15 to get into the movie theater is only getting $1 of that. The rest of it is going to the movie company and whoever made the movie.
Okay, you decided to open a movie theater. Why is it my business to pay for it?
Well, it's because of where we are now compared to, when they opened these theaters, it wasn't like that. But I understand what they're saying, and he said it will, if you start doing that, it'll make it easier for people to skip those ads, and then companies will likely not want to pay for them. So that's why you pay so much for popcorn and drinks and candy at the movie theater, because that's where all their income comes from.
Yeah, so you can increase all that stuff because I bring my own stuff in my big purse. So I don't care what you charge for concessions. You can freaking bone people all day on those. I don't care. But to make me sit through, at least 30 minutes or whatever of crap, I don't appreciate it. I don't like it. I don't think it should be legal.
By the way, don't get caught doing that. There are theaters that will ban people for bringing in their own food if they get you.
Oh, yeah. Well, kick me out. What do I care?
I know.
I don't know. I don't like the idea that somebody decided to open a business, but now it's on me to pay your mortgage.
Well, they can do what they want, I guess. I don't have to go.
That's right. Well, you're right. You're right.
But I get the the local business aspect of it. I don't know how much of it's local when you talk about like an AMC chain. You know,
right.
Are those franchises? That are owned by local businesses.
That's a good question.
Because it's like, you look at fast food restaurants, McDonald's is huge, but a lot of them are just owned by local business people.
Yeah.
All
right, so how about this? I'm going to tweak my outrage a little bit. If it's something like Studio 35, where we know it is locally owned, right? Is it locally owned, Studio 35?
Yeah, I believe so.
Quinville?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
All right. I'll pay a little extra to help you out because I want you to survive. I like your venue. It's a neat experience. And if we still had flickers, I would love to have, maybe chipped in. I would do a GoFundMe. You need help paying for whatever you're not able to pay for because of COVID? Let me help out. I love your venue. Otherwise, you don't get free access to my time. Oh, well, I don't know.
I don't, because, we don't want to see the theater start shutting down because of, lost ad revenue. But it's, it sucks watching all that stuff and waiting away. And like you said, Kelly, you're trying to plan out your evening and you're getting out of there 45 minutes later than you thought you would.
Justin says, Kelly, what do you think utility companies are doing with their surcharges? Now, Justin, don't what about me. We're solving one problem right now. One problem. All right? And that's movie theater problems. That's all we're talking about here. Okay? Let me have my outrage, Justin.
Oh, here, this makes everybody feel better.
Let me hear you all say,
Lincoln Park on the Morning Blitz. It's 7:24. Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick, and we got to go over to England for this story. So it's feeling better about it there. Residents are very upset, Kelly, that a bus service connecting a town's estates to its center will stop operating. Developer Story Homes subsidized the bus service in Cockermouth, Cumbria for 5 years when they built the Strawberry Grange Estates, but the commitment ends on February 1st. Cockermouth Town Council said it was pressing Cumberland Council to allocate funding to run the route, but there would likely be a gap in provision.
Are you only doing the story so you could say Cockermouth?
I'm just doing the story.
Because I don't get it.
Hillary Wilson, 74, who lives on Towers Lane and takes the bus into town several times a week, said she was gutted over the service ending. She said, I've made a lot of friends from Cockermouth using the bus. The service runs every hour from 7 to midnight. Many residential estates in Cockermouth were uphill, and the bus service protected people with mobility issues. Richard Watson, mayor of Cockermouth Town Council, said the bus would be missed by many in the town who had come to rely on it. So,
well, hopefully you can get some more service.
Tough for the folks in Cockermouth. Is this the bus to Cockermouth? No, that's bus 4. This is bus 6. It goes to Bangerface. Bus 5 goes to Grabrash. You want bus 4, so. Yes, Kelly, that's why. Can't you just let me be 12 once in a while?
I can.
Oh, my gosh. I am still getting texts about the NFL. I keep getting, everybody's trying to tell me that the NFL is rigged. I think they're just trying to mess with me now because I think they're trying to rile me up. Do you think?
Maybe, but kind of looks like some strong opinions here.
I know, but it's like, I just feel like nobody can just accept the loss anymore.
Yeah.
Like, there has to be a reason, and blaming the refs is always the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
And, if your team loses, well, no, they cheated, and that's not possible. And it's like, sometimes your team just gets beat.
Yeah.
It just happens. I mean, it's like when we lost to Michigan. We shouldn't have. But we did. And it didn't have anything to do with refs or anything. Sometimes it just happens. We used to hear it about New England. The NFL just wants Tom Brady. And I said, why? It doesn't matter. They're going to make billions of dollars no matter what. Why would you risk it? Why would you mess with that? I don't know. I don't understand. And again.
Now, where are we at, though, speaking of Ohio State, where are we at with submitting you as a contestant in the Ryan Day lookalike contest?
I don't know. I mean,
are you up for it?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. I do think you resemble him. Now, there may be somebody who resembles him more, but I would say that you are a legitimate contestant.
Man, he is. His facial hair is so, it's not like it's longer than mine. It's just so
thick.
I know. That's why I'm going to paint you up with some Just for Men. I'm going to use some Just for Men. I'm going to paint you up a little bit, and then we're going to take some pictures.
All right. Well, we got to have this in by tomorrow. Tomorrow's the deadline to submit.
All right. I'll do it today. What are we waiting for? Wear your Buckeye gear tomorrow, and I'm going to take some pictures.
My wife would say, just use a Sharpie.
That's good thinking.
Oh, is that right?
We've got a Sharpie, right?
Yeah, we do. We got a few of them.
Is it permanent?
Well, it probably would be there for a while.
All right. Well, good, because we need you to do promo pictures once you win this contest.
I can definitely say something. You know, I've seen his press conferences every week, so his mannerisms and everything. I could definitely, some of the.
Oh, do you want me to send in a video?
Well, I thought that was part of it. Let me see, wait.
Yeah, can you read the contest rules again?
All right, submissions held virtually. Submit to Barstool directly. Contestants do their best to emulate the OSU coach, snap a photo, and send their picture. But it says do their best to emulate it.
Just standing there.
Oh, is that it?
But listen, I'm going to submit a photo and a video.
All right. Well, I don't think I'm going to win.
Let's see, Barstool, Ohio State. That's who's doing this contest. All right. Let me get all the rules and everything down, and then we're doing this, baby.
Megadeth on the Morning Blitz. Before that, Marilyn Manson, The Beautiful People, which was the incarceration song of the day, and the cue to call in. And Ashley McBride from Columbus was caller number 9, so she's got her weekend passes to incarceration. Go check out Falling in Reverse, Slipknot, Five Finger Death Punch, Beartooth, Manson, Lamb of God, 3 Days Grace, and the list goes on. And also now registered for a VIP upgrade, which will be drawn tomorrow among this week's winners. So make sure you're listening to Ronnie today, 420. One more chance tomorrow to win, and she'll tell you the incarceration song of the day, and we will play it tomorrow during the 7 o'clock hour, and that's when you need to be caller 9 to get your weekend passes. All right. A lot of people are tired of dating. They're just the whole dating deal,
Yes,
it's just like, I guess it's
difficult.
it's a pain in the ass now.
It surely is.
I think part of the problem is online stuff. I think you can't really, a lot of people are spending time meeting people, on dating sites or Tinder or whatever, and then it's like, okay, I didn't, until you meet somebody in person, you just don't know.
Yeah.
So that makes that difficult. But it's also a way to find, like-minded people. But it's like, I don't know, I think I've always felt like people who are trying so hard to find somebody have the toughest time. I think it happens when you least expect it. It just seems like it, I
don't know. You got to put some effort in.
Well, yeah, I know. You got to be willing, you're because you're looking to date. You would like to date somebody. But it's hard to just pick random people online. It's easier when you meet somebody and you're like, oh, I feel a connection. Oh, I like this person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you can, try to do something there. But a lot of people are turning to artificial intelligence. And some folks are actually trading human partners for AI bots. This is crazy. Dr. Ian Pearson, I didn't even know this was a thing, a futurologist.
Okay.
like he
sounds made up.
Well, no, I mean, this is somebody who, based on statistics and science and stuff, makes predictions about, like this is going to happen.
Wait, let me guess. He calls himself a doctor.
Dr. Ian Pearson. He's got an 85% accuracy rate for his forecasts.
Okay.
He broke the internet by claiming that sex with robots will overtake sex with humans by 2050.
Okay.
All right. Research suggests the future may be closer than we think, as the majority of people are already open to intimacy with AI. Now, there's one called Eva AI. It's an AI girlfriend platform, and it's at edenai.world. And they decided to explore whether men are ready to embrace the cyber intimacy revolution. And they surveyed 2,000 men. Kelly, just take a guess. What percentage of men do you believe would be in full support of replacing a human companion with an AI girlfriend?
I don't think it's very high. I can't believe that.
8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. And 81% of them would even consider marrying one if it were legal.
I mean, where was this survey taken? In Loserville?
Well, I don't know. Again, I've been married so long, I'm so far out of this world that I just had no idea this was going on like this. I know there's always going to be stuff, but I didn't realize, like I said, that it was this much. 8 out of 10.
All right, listen, speaking of being in Loserville, like I have told you a million times, I didn't get married till I was 39. I could not find somebody to agree to get married. So I did find the love of my life, thank you God, when I was 38 years old. I will say that if you... Okay, you're saying intimacy with AI. That is a false intimacy.
I agree with you.
Because, like, you can, of your own free will, choose to be in an AI bot relationship, but the AI bot cannot choose you. And that is what makes up the richness and the wonder and the value of a relationship, is when you both choose each other. The AI bot has to do it.
Right.
Because you're pushing the right buttons.
Yeah.
So
literally,
that is a very false intimacy right there.
Serena said, I met my current husband when I was separated from my first husband and not looking at all. 20 years and 3 kids later, here we are. There is zero replacement for in-person interaction, and I'm someone who appreciates AI and uses it daily. It has its place, but not in relationships. All right, I can respect that. And while sex with robots may not surpass human intimacy before 2050, AI companionship is accelerating at a great pace. 83% of respondents say they believe they could form a deep emotional bond with an AI girlfriend. It will only be your emotions, though.
Yeah, it's you bonding to it.
Right.
It's not. There's no return on investment in terms of like a free will emotional choice, which is impossible for a bot.
The research, this is funny, also shows 78% of respondents said they would date an AI clone of their ex, while 80% expressed interest in chatting with an AI clone of a deceased loved one.
Okay.
Seeking solace and connection through memories brought to life with technology.
I think the only thing that this exposes is that we all, or at least the majority of us, have a deep longing for connection.
Yeah,
I get that.
yeah.
I understand it. And it is difficult if you are looking for a spouse or a significant other. Sometimes that is a difficult process to find somebody that you fit with. It took me forever to do it, and it's painful. It is a very painful situation to be single when you would love to be in a good relationship. So I get that maybe out of desperation, you'd say, you know what? There's nobody to date. Like, why don't I strike up a convo with this AI bot? But feeling like that is going to turn into a legitimate relationship, that takes a leap of consciousness in a way that I feel like is unhealthy.
And it may be. We don't really know until it happens a lot, and there's, a sample size to get research from. And keep in mind, the survey was done among 2,000 single men. They're all single. So maybe they are. Maybe some of them are desperate. But self-reflection also plays a role. 3 out of 4 participants said they would be open to having an AI clone of themselves as a virtual companion, and an equal number would create an AI twin of their current partner, but a, quote, polished version. So like I'm going to get another Charlie, but I'm going to polish him up a little bit. Isn't that crazy?
Is there... I guess it's the motivation that you just don't want any lip from somebody else.
That might be it.
You don't really want any sort of back and forth. What you want is your way only and your ideas only. And so the only way to get that is to bypass a human being and head straight for a bot.
Yeah. And Doug says it won't be long before somebody gets their floppy disk stuck in another person's hard drive. Stephanie said, I've seen Megan. Have you? This isn't going to be good. What the actual F are we thinking? We are headed toward the Matrix. Ashley said the movie Subservience is about this. Now I want to see Subservience. Stephanie says, we've been being groomed for this.
We've been what?
Being groomed for
being
this.
Groomed for
Free
this.
Guy, Ryan Reynolds movie. Check it out. Free Guy.
AJ says, when do you think the first cyber brothel opens?
Oh, oh my God. And maybe that, because they're robots, is that legal?
I guess. I don't know.
Will that be considered prostitution since they're robots?
As long as they're thoroughly cleaned, you couldn't be spreading any type of disease.
Oh, thoroughly clean. Oh. It's like using somebody else's sex toy.
Lori says, it sounds like narcissism. You're exactly right. It sounds like what you want in a partner is somebody who will just fully 100% go along with everything you say,
right.
Which really does take the value out of it. Don't you want a back and forth? Don't you want an exchange, a free will exchange of love, of ideas? I don't know. Well, I don't like it. I feel like there is that.
Okay, so you mentioned you don't want any lip. Maybe it's you just don't want. Cale Jones from Eva AI says AI companionship allows people to be their authentic selves without fear of judgment. It creates a safe space to explore thoughts, emotions, and desires that might feel too vulnerable to share in real life.
Okay, that person's trying to legitimize something that got real weird.
Right.
I can see testing out an AI bot like, hey, what would a conversation be like with this person? But once you reach a stage where you're willing to be intimately involved, even just in conversation with a bot, and that is like something you're starting to depend upon, I do think you might, and I say this in all seriousness, you probably need a therapist.
Maybe.
To sort of work through what is happening.
But there's a lot of people. I mean, it is getting more and more common. This one person said, I think it's becoming difficult for people to meet and interact in real life, and we prefer the safety and comfort of our screens. And as a human, it's easy to catch feelings for just about any object. Really? Any object? Is it?
I think this is an underworld of the population that we don't really know much about.
Maybe it is.
Yeah.
But it's really growing.
A little segment of society that is out there and functioning, semi-functioning, that we're just maybe opening a door.
You know what I think? I think this is happening because you can no longer, as a parent, just simply say, go outside and play. No phone. Just go outside and play with your friends. In real life, with your real friends, outside doing something real. I think we need, but you can't do that because you never know if some, sicko's going to grab your kid and take off with them.
So wait, that's how it all starts, is what you're saying?
That's why it's happening, because we can no longer do that. Just send our kids outside to play and have social skills, and you know what I mean? And this is what it's evolved into.
Yes.
Red Sun Rising on the Morning Blitz, 7:55 with Kelly and Rick, and it looks like Blitz Nation is more into the real people, Kelly, as opposed to the AI boyfriends and girlfriends.
I think that this is a better sampling of humans,
yes.
Blitz Nation, than the 1,500 people living in their moms. I don't want to be too mean, because I get the need for connection, and I get that we all have it, and it doesn't come by that easily or that often for people. Yeah. So I get that there is a desperation for human connection. So I do have sympathy for that.
We got one text said, this all started with the movie Weird Science, and he might not be wrong about that. I love that movie.
I forget what that was about.
They had the doll of the girl, and they
brought it to life?
They brought it to life,
okay.
Yeah, and then they were in high school, and
Okay.
That was hilarious. So, yeah, that makes sense. Where did that other text go? You were going to read it.
Oh, Ashley.
Yes.
Ashley said, I think most men just want dinner, silence, and sex, and we aren't willing to only do just that.
There are some. There are. See, I'm not. I wish my wife would talk more, and she probably wishes I would talk less. And I say that to her all the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm constantly talking, and she just doesn't say anything. And I'm like, am I driving her insane, or she just take it all in, or I just
I don't know,
not
Heather,
bored
give us
with
a
what
text
I'm...
at 99700.
What is it, honey?
Does Thick Rick drive you insane? With all his chit-chat.
I talk a lot. But damn it, I'm interesting. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I just think I am.
Will Vickery says, I met the love of my life when we were 15 years old at a mutual friend's birthday party. We lost connection and then reconnected and started dating in 2019. We got married in 2022. She is listening right now. Well, Will, you're lucky you have an authentic, loving relationship between two people who voluntarily, of their own free will, chose each other. Isn't that nice? It's not just you choosing a bot and a bot going, well, what do you want me to say? Hit the right buttons and I'll tell you everything you want to hear.
Dwayne said, how deflating would it be if your bot ends up cheating on you?
And now, I'm listening. 3 things you need to know before you go.
All right, this is straight from the Washington Post. Officials believe that all passengers and crew on board American Eagle Flight 5342, which collided mid-air last evening with an Army Black Hawk helicopter near Reagan National Airport, were killed. They are pivoting search and rescue teams to recovery operations. DC Fire Chief John Donnelly said, quote, at this point, we do not believe there are any survivors from this incident. Rescue teams have recovered 27 bodies from the plane and 1 body from the helicopter. The American Airlines aircraft was flying from Wichita to National Airport with 60 passengers and 4 crew members, and the helicopter was on a training flight with 3 service members on board. Now, we did hear out of Wichita, Kansas, about 20 figure skaters and coaches were passengers aboard that plane, and that includes children. We also saw from Russian state media that among those on board were former figure skating world champions from Russia, Yevgenia Shishkova and Vadim Naumov. Wow. So we'll be getting more and more information about victims and exactly what went wrong there. I know that they want to know why the Black Hawk was in that exact position at that moment. They were said to be on a training flight. Why was there no line of sight visual? I guess, it was 9:00 at night. But, all these, the plane and the helicopter all had lighting and should have been able to have some visual, at least, contact. So I don't know. This is quite an enormous tragedy. Again, we have not had a commercial flight go down in the U.S. In 16 years. A long time. President Trump has given an official statement saying he's been fully briefed. He said, quote, the airplane was on a perfect and routine line of approach to the airport. The helicopter was going straight at the airplane for an extended period of time. It's a clear night. The lights on the plane were blazing. Why didn't the helicopter go up or down or turn? Why didn't the control tower tell the helicopter what to do instead of asking if they saw the plane? This is a bad situation that looks like it should have been prevented. Not good. That was a quote from President Trump, and his viewpoint is backed up by aviation experts. Consultant Jeffrey Thomas says the U.S. has the safest airline system in the world and uses technology called Traffic Collision Avoidance System, which allows aircraft to electronically talk to each other to warn pilots of impending collisions. All commercial aircraft use this technology, and most military aircraft are fitted with this as well. And he says this crash is absolutely perplexing.
Yeah, somebody made a bad mistake. That's what happened.
Yep. So, we'll find out more as the hours and days continue. Those are your 3 things.
Lenny Kravitz on the Morning Blitz, 8:10 with Kelly Quinn and Thick Rick. And, Kelly, we talked about this last week about, CVS, Walgreens locking up items because they're, having stuff stolen and makes you not want to shop there. And people are, we were talking about how people are just not going to these places. They're going elsewhere to get these items because they're understaffed and you're waiting constantly for somebody to come over and unlock stuff.
Right. Why do I come into a CVS and have to wait around to have something unlocked when I can just order it on Amazon and have it delivered the same day? Honestly.
Yeah, I know. Well, so CVS is now testing a new system where you will be able to unlock those cabinets on your own through their app. Yeah, I know, right? I know it sounds clunky because it is. Not only do you have to have the app on your phone, but you also have to be on the store's Wi-Fi, and you have to have Bluetooth turned on so it knows what shelf you're trying to access.
So there's no time savings here at all.
I think you're making it worse. You really are. Because now you're putting the burden on me to do all this correctly.
Plus, then what? Do they have a record of you on their Wi-Fi so they'll know if they're missing stuff?
Okay, now see, that's really interesting. Okay, so first off, on the plus side, you don't have to stand around and wait for somebody, an overworked employee who just got finished with 5 customers in the line, and now they can finally come open it up for you. But critics say this is just a backdoor way of CVS forcing more engagement within their app, which collects information, all right, especially if you need to have your location services turned on. Also, the locked cases issue is a problem that they created. This is a problem they created.
Yeah.
And, because, whatever, you got to curb shoplifting, fine. But here's the thing, what kind of all along the lines of what you were just saying. What if you open a locked cabinet and then you didn't close it properly, and then something gets taken from that cabinet after you've already walked away? They're going to see that you were the last one to access it. So now you got a whole other issue going on with possible missing items and them tracking you down.
How about we just don't shop with you, CVS?
Well, that's it.
How about that?
They're making it worse.
Yeah, I don't need any of that.
It's like, where are we? What is going on? What happened? What happened? Nothing more on the Morning Blitz, 824 with Kelly Quinn and Thick Rick. Talking about Pablo Picasso. It's things you hear and you go, really? That's weird. I could have never thought about it that way, or I didn't realize that. And then somebody says something, you go, you got to be kidding me. And that's what happened when I heard Joe List, he's a comedian I had never heard of before. And I saw this clip of him talking about Pablo Picasso.
Did you guys know this? Pablo Picasso, you know when he died? He died in 1973. Did you know that? I thought he died in 1380.
Right.
Picasso had a car. Is that unbelievable? Pablo Picasso was driving around Spain in like a Honda Civic listening to Black Sabbath on the radio. Ozzy Osbourne and Pablo Picasso were working at the same time. He saw 6 Super Bowls. I thought he lived next to a blacksmith. The guy's like at home watching the Green Bay Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs on a colored television set, drinking Mountain Dew. And some of you might be like, Mountain Dew, that wasn't out in 1970. It was. Do you know when it came out? I thought like maybe 1975, 76. 1940, Mountain Dew came out. Hitler was jacked up on Mountain Dew. He was like in a bunker, like, do the do, or what? I can't do it.
Do the do. It's just crazy. I thought Picasso lived way back.
Let me blow your mind. You know who Picasso was hanging out with? Salvador Dali.
I don't know. Who's that?
He's another artist.
Oh, okay.
He died in the late 80s. Dali.
I'm not a big art guy.
Okay. So, well, the persistence of memory.
Yeah.
He's a very famous artist.
All right.
And also somebody that you, like, the timeline is weird because you do assume with these old, like, classic artists, they were born in, like, 920 BC or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
He died in 1973. I love, he saw 6 Super Bowls.
Yes. Like Picasso and Dali, they were hanging out with like Elvis and David Bowie and...
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like Stravinsky.
That's hilarious.
It is really a weird thing to sort of grasp that he was alive and well and working and, most of our lifetimes.
While Ozzy was working.
Ozzy
like
was
Black
working.
Sabbath was just... and Led Zeppelin, they were just getting started.
Yep.
That's hilarious. I'm just trying to think of other, because there's... Well, let's see. So anybody born before 73 can say, I was alive when Picasso was alive.
That's right.
Jeez. All right. Okay, we got your tickets to see the Lonely Ones. They are coming to the Newport Saturday night. Cadaver Dogs and the Warren Flints will open the show. We've been giving away tickets all week. By the way, Marty will be in, Marty McCoy from The Lonely Ones. being here tomorrow morning.
Great.
Yep. About 8:30. And tickets are on sale at AXS.com. But if you would like a pair, just text Marty to 99700. Text Marty to 99700 and number 99. You will win those tickets. Five-Finger Death Punch on the Morning Blitz. See them as one of the headliners at Incarceration this July up in Mansfield. Make sure you're listening to Ronnie Hunter this afternoon at 4:20. She will tell you the Incarceration song of the day for tomorrow. And then when we play it in the 7 o'clock hour tomorrow, just be caller 9 at 1-800-821-9970, and you will score weekend passes to Inc. and be registered for a VIP upgrade. We are giving away tickets as well to Lonely Ones this week, and Mary Peters from Columbus was the 99th text, so she's got a pair of passes to go see the Lonely Ones Saturday night at the Newport Music Hall. Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com. We have one more pair to give away tomorrow morning, and we will do that with Marty and the guys from the Lonely Ones as they stop by and hang out with us for a little bit at 8:30 tomorrow morning.
That'd be fun.
Join us for that. Yeah, always a good time when they come in. All right. Now, again, I'm a gamer. I love video games. I think I have played a game of college football 25, at least one game every day this week. In fact, my day, I don't feel normal right now, Kelly, if I don't play at least one game each day.
Okay, if you had to only choose one game to play for the rest of your life, what would it be?
You can't do that.
I have to.
I can't answer
Rocket
that.
League?
No, it can't be Rocket League.
This football game?
No, you know what? It would have to be Madden.
Madden?
I think
okay.
it's going to have to be Madden.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, that has been my favorite game. Well, but I love Final Fantasy, too. Yeah, no, I'm going to have to go with Madden. If I can only play one forever. Yeah, probably going to be Madden. Final Fantasy VII was one of the greatest games ever made. Super Mario Brothers 3 was one of the greatest games ever made. Ultima 4, Quest of the Avatar. Those probably three, along with Madden, the four to me. And Quake. Forgot about Quake, which used to be Doom. So that would be my top 5 of all time.
Okay.
Quake 2, Madden, any pick a year. Yeah, and Ultima 4, and Final Fantasy VII.
Geez, Rocket League doesn't even make the top 5.
No, it doesn't. You know that? Now, of the past 10 years, it would be up there. Because that's what I played mostly. But then I've forgotten all about it now. I'd probably suck at Rocket League right now. It would take me a while to get warmed up because I've been playing college football 25 so much. But this certainly never happened to me from playing video games. A guy in Wildwood, Florida. It's a Florida man. He got arrested on Sunday. 29-year-old Aquavius Chandler was arguing with his roommate over a video game. The roommate, told police when they got there that he was trying to sleep, so he took his PS5 back from Aquavius' bedroom because Aquavius was being too loud playing the game, and it was his roommate's PS5, and he's like, I guess he got mad, and so he took his game, took it away from him.
Okay.
Well, there he was when he got assaulted. Pow! Right in the middle of his chest, Kelly.
Yeah?
He got hit with a bologna sandwich. Aquavius threw a bologna sandwich at his roommate. Police reported no visible injuries. It's a bologna sandwich.
Maybe he was just like, you need some nutrition. Boom.
Well, you know what the worst part is?
That's a nice roommate, if you ask me. Made him a sandwich and whipped it at him. So the guy didn't even have to stand up and get it.
Aquavius got charged with a felony.
Really?
Yes.
Assault with a deadly bologna sandwich?
Well, he'd been arrested for battery before. He had a record. 2 other attacks. One, he got upset over a video game in 2022 and threatened a 60-year-old man with a knife. A year later, he pleaded no contest after choking out his own sister during a fight over a video game.
This guy's nuts.
He cannot be allowed. That's what you get. He's got to ban him from video games.
I mean, if I have to choose between the bologna sandwich... Did it have mustard on it?
But it was a violation of his probation. That's why he got charged with a felony.
A bologna sandwich.
Are you
serious?
serious?
It does sound like he's improving, honestly, from choking out a sister to just throwing a bologna sandwich. Things are getting better for this guy.
I would have never, and he probably thought, well, this won't get me in trouble.
This is nothing. It's just a bologna sandwich. It can't hit anybody.
The roommate, come on. Did you call the police over that? Really? I mean, come on.
Fluffy white Wonder Bread. Maybe a little light covering of Dijon mustard.
Now you got to find a new roommate. Look what you've done.
Yeah.
But over video games. I mean, I broke, 1 or 6 controllers probably in my day.
I can see myself getting absolutely enraged playing video games. I do have a little bit of how do I want to call it?
It's okay, Kelly. You can admit
trigger finger.
You can admit you are competitive.
I don't know if it's competitive. I get angry at myself. It's not competition. It's anger.
Well, no. In video games, you're playing against yourself.
Yes,
really, you're competing against yourself unless you're online playing other people.
I think the anger is just toward myself for doing something wrong or stupid. It's not like a competition thing so much as it is. I really don't have much control. I don't exert much control when I'm by myself and I make a mistake.
Right.
I told you of how I have to just scream it out in my car every now and again. I just scream it out just to get the tension and the stress out of my soul because I have done something stupid. The last time I remember I did this was when I had a venti
yes, that's right.
cinnamon dolce latte from Starbucks in my cup holder, and I came to a little bit of a rough stop, and the whole thing spilled out of my cup holder, fell onto my passenger side floor mat, and soaked that entire part of the car. You don't even want to
scream.
I wish there was video. You wouldn't even be able to play it because it would peg the meters so hard.
Go ahead, recreate it for us.
I can't.
No?
No,
you have to be that angry to recreate
to be that angry.
Okay. All right. Well, I was just curious, what's like the worst thing you guys have ever done over a video game? Broke, done, lost your temper over a video game. What did you do? Did you get in much trouble? I was just curious. I'm sure somebody out there
Tell me,
has.
like, the last time you broke a controller. Has it been a while, or was it
me
yesterday?
Oh, I haven't. It's been a long time since I broke a controller.
So you're getting better. You're kind of like the bologna sandwich guy. You're down to throw in bologna sandwiches.
Yeah. No, I'm much better.
Okay.
No, the worst complaint I get from my wife Heather now is she'll hear me stomp my foot.
Yeah.
Like if I'm upstairs playing and she's downstairs and she's like...
She hears a boom.
She's like, oh, he must have thrown an interception. Stone Temple Pilots, 8:51 on the Morning Blitz. Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick, talking about Aquavius Chandler, a Florida man, who assaulted his roommate by throwing a bologna sandwich at him because his roommate took his PS5 back because Aquavius was being too loud and his roommate was trying to sleep. Aquavius got a felony handed to him, though, because he's been arrested for battery before, and every time he was arrested, it was because of a video game. The worst I've ever done is break a controller, not including screaming and cussing.
Yeah. But you might scream and cuss. Like, you might... Not anything crazy, but you might yell the F word, say. If you're playing the football game that you like to play these days.
Oh, many
and something
times.
goes wrong.
Oh, yeah.
You'll yell the F word.
Yeah. And stomp the ground. Yeah.
Cheyenne Lane says she broke one controller in her lifetime. It was her Max controller for her NES while playing Super Mario Brothers 3. She said, learned a valuable lesson that day. Sometimes it's better to just set that controller down and go outside.
Well, that's it. Once you have to spend some of your own money on those things, you learn your lesson, and that's how that works. I love this text from Brian from Hilliard. He said, Thick, my wife would steal/borrow my Super Mario 3 in college. To be able to play, I had to start dating her 33 years later, 3 grown boys. Brian from Hilliard. That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, my wife and I were gaming together before we started dating.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Absolutely. Hallie says, and this isn't necessarily a gaming thing, but she says she was on the phone with her ex and they had this huge argument. She whipped her phone at the windshield and smashed it from the inside.
Oh!
And then she also threw the remote one time because she couldn't get the channel to turn the channel down. She said it broke her TV, but she says she blames pregnancy.
The hormones. Eric said, I thought most gamers smoked weed. Why so much anger?
Hey, that's right.
But this was great. He said, this guy, Aquavius Chandler in Florida, we got a text that says, he got charged with felonious assault
Oh my gosh, that is so good.
That is a good dad joke right there, man. That is a good dad
JD
joke.
Marie says, Kelly, it seems like you have a bit of game rage going on. I would say my rage is just generalized rage because I'm not a gamer. So there's just always a little bit of rage brewing underneath the surface.
Well, now, but speaking of you being a gamer, you asked me before we came back on the air, and I was thinking about it, and I'm like, well, let's ask the experts.
I'm trying to think of something that, because I don't game, I don't know how to game, and I told Thick, I'm like, something that doesn't require like a lot of flipping and kicking and sliding, because I can never figure that out, but maybe something more of like a good storyline and a treasure hunt.
Good graphics. Maybe not a lot of like dangers or ways to die, but a few. Is there anything like that that wouldn't cause me, that wouldn't really like trigger my rage issues?
Is there anything like that? Like a nice, good graphic treasure hunt / something super fun with like a lot of levels and a lot of rewards. I need rewards.
What was the game? Oh, I can't remember the game. My son used to play it. And it was a role-playing game with great graphics, but it featured like Disney characters. Like Mickey was in it, but they had to battle stuff and bosses. What was the hell? Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know, that was an older game. I don't know if that's still something, and you'd have to get the system to play it.
Are there a lot of treasures? Like, I like to win treasures, and I like to be celebrated at every turn.
All right, well,
like, any little victory that I have, I want there to be some sort of like a confetti drop, or I get some jewels or something like that. Is there a game like that?
Yeah, how about Sonic the Hedgehog? All those coins and...
Gavin says Myst. Dominic says Kingdom Hearts.
All right.
Ryan says Sea of Thieves.
Lucian said My Little Universe.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that. I have no idea what that is.
All right.
Yeah, Myst might be a good one for you. Kingdom Hearts definitely, but I don't know if you can. If there's you would have to have the system to play it on.
That's fine. That's what I'm asking for. Just what is it, and what would I? Harvest Moon. Justine says.
I haven't played that one.
Leah says Oregon Trail.
Oh, the one that Tess loves. Animal
Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
Oh, is
that's the one you need?
Okay, and I'll get rewarded handsomely for every little victory.
I think. I'm pretty sure. I mean, at least
now we're talking. I feel like Animal Crossing is about the level, and I don't need to be killed out of the blue with an arrow to the skull or something. I don't need any of that.
Yeah, old school Legend of Zelda on Nintendo would be a great one if you can.
How are the graphics on that?
It's 8-bit, so they're not.
I don't need an 8-bit game, you guys. Okay, I need something really fancy.
Mike said, check out Disney Dreamland Valley.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Oh, Wizards and Warriors. I remember that game.
June's Journey. Oh, I've played June's Journey on my. That kind of ticked me off after a while. I'm not sure why, though. I can't remember.
Okay, Gavin said you can play Kingdom Hearts on the new Xbox and PlayStations.
I can. Okay.
But I'm guessing not the Switch, which is what she still got in her basket or her cart on Best Buy for the past 3 years.
I do.
Is it really still there?
I'll have to check.
It was the last time you looked.
Yeah, because we had your giant TV in there as well.
It's probably still in there.
It probably is. With this June's Journey thing, I think that's sort of like a hidden thing, like find the hat and all that. I think maybe I got bored. I'm not sure.
All right.
But like I said, I've got to have the rewards. That's the only thing that's keeping me coming back.
Well, Animal Crossing you can definitely play on the Twitch. And that's probably...
The Switch?
Or Switch. I'm sorry, the Switch. Yeah,
but no, Switch. You can stream it on Twitch, so I understand. There's a... Right.
Yeah, right.
I gotcha. Maybe I'll stream myself
The Nintendo Switch is you can play Animal Crossing on there. I think, look up Animal Crossing, go to YouTube and watch a video of it being played. That's the best thing to do with all these games is just search them on YouTube, and then you can see it being played and see if that is appealing.
All right, Animal Crossing, please show me a video of the rewards you get.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
28 bodies have been recovered as of early today from the Potomac River after an American Airlines passenger plane from Wichita collided last night at 9 p.m. with an Army helicopter. At a news conference, D.C. Fire and EMS Chief John Donnelly Sr. said 27 bodies were pulled from the plane and one from the helicopter. He said more than 300 rescuers responded last night to the crash, and they worked in extremely frigid conditions and heavy winds along with ice. Donnelly said the rescue operation has switched to a recovery operation and that officials believe there are no survivors. Bodies are being taken to a police helicopter base near the Frederick Douglass Memorial Bridge. U.S. Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy said the fuselage of the American Airlines plane was located in 3 different spots in waist-deep water. He said the FAA and National Transportation Safety Board will start analyzing the aircraft. Duffy said, quote, everything was standard in the lead up to the crash, but, quote, obviously something happened here, and then added, do I think this was preventable? Absolutely. A cohort of competitive figure skaters and their companions, including retired champions, athletic coaches, and family members, were aboard the American Airlines flight. About 20 of those passengers were competitive figure skaters or coaches, numbering about a third of those on board. Like I said, added to that were family members, so I don't know if that was the entire, if that they took up the entire plane or not, but that is all we are finding out so far. 2 renowned Russian figure skaters, former champions Evgenia Shishkova and Vadim Naumov were among the passengers on that plane. OpenAI looking into whether Chinese AI startup DeepSeek took data from ChatGPT to build its own new AI assistant, which is, I guess, superior to ChatGPT. So basically, OpenAI is like, you stole all our stuff and then made it better. A spokesperson said OpenAI is aware that groups in China use methods like distillation, which is a technique used to transfer a large model's knowledge to a smaller model to replicate American AI models. So they think that all their stuff was stolen by DeepSeek to then create this new model.
And now we make better boyfriends and girlfriends for you.
I guess so. Thanks, China. The Ohio State Highway Patrol is now running a pilot program as they look to establish testing for drivers who are under the influence of marijuana. And we've talked about this now for many months. How do you detect, because it's illegal to be high, to have THC in your system and drive, right?
The weed!
Well, maybe not have THC in your system because they say it hangs around for quite a while, but you're not experiencing the effects.
Yeah, well,
you can't drive high,
right? And this is what I have always thought the issue was. When it came to legalizing marijuana and people driving under the influence, is how do you test for it? There's not. It's not like the breathalyzer for alcohol. So how are they doing this?
Well, the agency is using mouth swab kits to collect potential evidence of cannabis use. They say it's a lot less invasive and faster than blood or urine testing options.
Well, yeah.
And it's just a pilot program. They're going to be kind of testing it out to see, I guess, test its accuracy. I don't know that you'll be ticketed per se if they're testing this out on you. If it's more of just like, let us use your saliva for a little pilot program here. I don't really know what'll happen.
Now, is this? Is this when they suspect it, or are they just this will be done randomly with people they pull over for anything?
I think it's just when they suspect it.
Okay, I was going to say, because I got a feeling there'll be lawyers jumping all over.
Right? Yeah, I don't know how you could actually take this through the court system, but they are going to be testing it out for the next year. So if you get pulled over by the Highway Patrol and you've been imbibing, let's say.
Imbibing. I like that word.
Yeah.
I was imbibing. Leave me alone.
All right, those are your 3 things.